playing the sound again. Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm forgetting to mute my preview. Exactly what I did last week. We're live again, and I've got Claire with me again.
Yes, I'm
after
back.
You've been missing action for the last
2 weeks. Yeah, two times. One due to illness and the other due to gallivanting.
Yeah, exactly. So from one extreme to the other, leaving me in the lurch to do it all by myself.
Well, you didn't do it. You cancelled it.
Oh, no, yeah, I cancelled one, didn't I?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, because I was stuck in work until gone 8 o'clock.
And I was out at the
And you was out
too.
partying on your lonesome.
Yeah, doing a mega visit to a brilliant concert. If anybody gets the chance to see Pete Tong and the Heritage Orchestra doing 90s house classics, do it.
Yeah,
No.
Would I do that?
Definitely. I'll get you back.
I hope everyone can hear us fine today. I've been playing around with the microphones again, so I never really know if they're going to be the best they could have. Really, do you know what would make this better is if we had one of them, like the things you have on the walls to absorb all the sound. That'd be a bit extreme, wouldn't it?
I think it would be a bit extreme, but...
Well, I've recorded stuff and I've actually put my head over...
At least we're not sitting in the dark with an iPhone, you know. We're making a bit of an effort.
I've tried in the past putting a blanket over your head, like recording. If you're doing that doesn't work, obviously, doing the... if you're doing the video.
What I'm noticing, just between you and me talking, is that it's really echoey in here.
It is echoey.
And when I start singing the 12 Days of Christmas a little bit later, then that would be perfect.
Oh, like...
Oh!
Right, let's get on it. We've got some rat news today. We've got some rat general news, local news, pouchy
news. A little bit of medical stuff going on at the moment that we can talk about.
Bit of some updating, you know, all of that malarkey. But let's start with, do you remember Pizza Rat? Everyone remembers Pizza Rat.
Oh, yeah, that lovely. Well, they were saying it was a daddy feeding his family. I think it was actually the mummy, but...
Oh, the dad wouldn't do that. He's too lazy.
The dad would just sit and eat it.
He'd keep it for himself.
Yeah.
But, everyone remembers the wonderful Pizza Rat and the video that was posted, was it earlier this year, of a rat dragging a pizza slice down a New York...
bigger than the rat. It was
down
adorable.
a New York subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully for the rest of the stream today we don't have any funny dropouts and things. It seems all right. So feedback if there's any problems again. We can see on the chat if there's any.
Just saying hello to Bob, hello to Alan, and hello to anyone else that wants to join us.
Exactly. Right. Okay. So Coffee Rat. You've got to tell me about Coffee Rat because I've missed this one out. So this seems to be a big thing that New Yorkers seem to be catching at the moment, and this is a commuter who was travelling on his train caught a rat on film dragging a coffee cup along the subway this time.
Maybe it was to wash down the pizza.
And this was a report from the 4th of December on the New York Post website, and some rather impressed viewers captured this wildie who was being dubbed on Twitter Coffee Rat, dragging a disposable cup along the platform. Some wonderful comments from some of the onlookers as well as some of the people on Twitter saying, is he bringing that coffee to his boss? Or is he panhandling?
I didn't know what panhandling was until I just read it.
I had to put myself a little note because it's begging for spare change.
Oh, we're shaking the cup.
Can I have some money, please, sir?
Spare change.
There was a lot of nice comments, people saying, oh, this rat is everything that I want to be.
Oh.
Basically wanting his morning hit of coffee. But best thing is I managed to track down the video of it. So we can flip over to our browser view. And let's have a quick watch of this.
Oh, look at that. Oh, bless its little heart. Fearless. Look, she's walking along. Full view. And that is a little girl.
That's definitely a little girl.
Yeah.
There's no gate, but it's almost like you want to go past and put a pound coin in there for her. It's like, yep, I like that.
Oh,
that's mine.
So sweet.
So yeah, that's courtesy of the New York Post. Let's flip back to us. There we go. So yeah, that's Coffee Rat. What do you think of Coffee Rat?
Oh, I think that's really lovely, actually.
Yeah.
And really nice that people think these little things are of such value now that they can go viral.
Well, I think they're great because they're almost spreading a bit of good cheer about rats. They're showing, what we as owners are so used to, which is that humour that we see from them.
And also the slightly human touch. I mean, rats love humans and they love anything human orientated, and here they are with the human food and the human drinks. Scavenging.
It's given them a different view. It's given people a different view who only know of them as the words that they hear from people.
And
what they
living
read
in the sewers, and in reality they live amongst us. We
Yeah.
just don't see them.
I wish, this is something that I never see on the underground. I see a lot of mice on the underground, but I never see, I never see them, rats on the underground.
They'll probably come out when the underground's not running.
Exactly.
Because of the times. Yeah.
But hey, so I managed to come across, and this was while I was looking at coffee rats, something else popped up, and I thought, this is another piece of, this is a rather nice piece of news. Don't react to the news before you've even...
Oh, okay.
read
I
your
won't
thingy.
spoil. I won't spoil it. No spoilers.
So this was a little bit older. This was something I found that was from back in November. So a little bit older than Coffee Rat, which was in December. But still I thought it was worth sharing because this seemed to be less well shared, and I thought it was quite nice actually. So this is a piece of news that comes again from the New York Post, but was captured during the Hong Kong riots, obviously earlier on this year. Not a lot earlier on this year, but earlier on regardless. One of a passerby who was maybe partaking in the demonstrations or maybe just observing, anyway, walked past and saw a rat lying motionless on the street, and it became clear as he approached the rat that it was suffering, and it had also been affected by the tear gas that had been released against the protesters. And the man in the film can be heard saying it might have been tear gassed. So one of the other passers-by starts tipping water over its face and over its eyes, and you can see it start to move and start to react. And apparently it did move away, but it's unknown whether it survived its ordeal. But there is a video of this as well, which is great. Let's go back and let's have a... I fast forwarded it a bit because the video is about a minute and a half long. But it does look to me like it's affected by the tear gas, which, as we know, pouchies, fancy rats have a very, very weak respiratory system. So I can imagine that that's really not...
It doesn't look great, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, poor little thing. It's so pretty as well. It's very pale coloured.
It is.
Big eyes.
But the fact it got up and walked away, possibly a good sign. He seems to be reacting to it. He's probably just in a bit of
it's
pain.
a bit dazed and a bit frightened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was something nice. Something nice that someone's done. Rather nice. That I think.
I can start yawning. Oh,
you're terrible for yawning.
This room attracts yawning. It really does for me.
How can a room attract yawning?
It can, because there's a meeting room at work that attracts yawning as well. But that's probably just because it gets a bit boring.
Are they just in the air and you just in? So yeah, that's my news.
Your news.
That's my news.
Oh, thank you for that.
What news do you have for me?
Well, let's have a look at the agenda.
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to move the screen, move this window over here because I have many screens, and if I move it there, then it means I can actually read what's going on now, which is good.
And have a look at the chit chat, if we have any.
Chit chat's there.
Oh,
you made Annette yawn, right?
Hello, Annette.
Do tell me of your news.
Okay, all right then. We've been having some problems with Celly. I think we discussed it last time, didn't we? That there was quite a lot of quite a lot of issues with her. These started around the time that she would have hit puberty, and they escalated. The main target is Lewis, and it's just very domineering behaviour, very bossy, very stroppy, and she will resort to using her teeth to get what she wants.
I've taken to not being in the same room as her when she comes out, because she does target me more so. Yeah,
we've got the same scenario where Lewis will retreat. Oh, sorry about the yawning. He'll retreat to the bedroom, and she bites me too, but not to the same degree. I can more or less avoid being bitten. I took her to the vets 2 weeks ago, discussed the dominant behaviour and when it began, and also the fact that she looks different. She's just got a different appearance from the other females, and we didn't know quite what it was. And the vet, who was the man that was instrumental really in treating Arthur, he's been fantastic with our rats. He's called Alex. And he said, before we suggested it, have you considered having a spayed? So he was thinking along the same lines as us, and he said while they were in there, they would have a look because there was a possibility that she was intersex and that the hormones would be confusing one another, and it would also explain the physicality. They didn't find anything untoward. She went in today for her operation. Moaned, complained and screamed the whole way through, and apparently she was really difficult to handle. She wasn't particularly keen on...
Which is difficult to handle for us. I can't imagine what she's like for someone else.
Coming out of the cage, but two of them. Alex was actually the only one that Arthur didn't bite when he was in hospital. So he must have a knack of handling them, but they got her out of the cage. They got her anaesthetised. She coped really well under anaesthetic. There was nothing to see in there other than a perfectly normal womb and ovaries, but there was an awful lot of body fat, more than he said he would expect to see, which is again confusing because they all have the same diet. They're on a very good diet. They don't get a lot of junk, do they?
No, I mean, it's somewhat of a good diet, but I mean, the others are not fat. They're quite lean.
No, and the females in particular are very slender. They've got quite nice body shapes. And
I always found it unusual that she'd put on this excessive amount of body fat. Hormones can obviously cause that extra bit.
They can. I mean, ladies out there will know that if they go on a particular type of pill that's wrong for them, or when they hit the menopause, yes, the body fat ratio does change. So now that she does not have the womb and not have the ovaries, it'll be interesting to see if there's a change for the better in her physical health as well as her temperament. At the moment, she's flat out.
Oh yeah, I mean the door was open.
Asleep.
She went in, just ate some food, went back in her bed, didn't she?
She was very hungry and thirsty, but she ate and drank, which was a really, really good sign. I was pleased to see her doing that. And just checked on her before I came upstairs. She's got a radiator next to the cage, and she's all warm and cosy. And she complained when I woke her up.
Good.
So she's
not
she's
good
alert.
She's complaining,
she's
but
alert.
She's
happy.
still there.
We've had a little look at the scar. I held her up, so I didn't really get a chance to look, but it looked very clean.
Yeah. It's it's unusual, isn't it? But
so she looks like she's had a really good job done. They've done a lot of internal stitching to make it nice and secure.
They're very, very good there. The way
they've glued the outside of the wound, so there's not actually anything to nibble at. But time will tell.
So, I mean, watch this space. If we see any difference, I mean, it might take weeks. It might not make a difference. Full stop.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we will see. And this will be interesting because I'm currently talking with a owner in Belgium, I believe, who's having similar issues with her.
Yeah.
So I've said to her, hold off, we can see whether this works, because it's the first time we've had a pouchy spayed.
Yeah, and we didn't take it. It's quite invasive surgery for a little rat. We didn't take this decision lightly, but we had to weigh up the sort of quality of life she has against taking a risk in possibly making that better.
Oh yeah, I think she didn't really have a quality of life
because
really.
she gets out of control. She bites. She gets put back. And there's no other way we can really handle that. So she's living on her own because she can't tolerate any other rats. She's in solitary confinement, apart from the half hour, 45 minutes that she manages before she starts biting people.
Consuming doors.
And chewing the doors. And she's just a big bag of frustration, and I really hope that we can do something to help her.
She chewed chunks out the door. I come along with some wood filler. I filled them all in, and then she chewed all the filler out.
And it's all antagonistic. It's aggression and frustration. And
that's because I was in here and she wanted to get in here. And if I let her in here, she'd go straight and bite me again. But
chunks out of the bottom of the door in zero amount of time. It's quite remarkable what damage they can do when they're determined. It's another thing to think about if you want one and you've got rented property. You might not be flavour of the month with the landlord.
If they chew your skirting boards, which are not easy to replace.
So send healing thoughts to Cells. You know, we are concerned about her. She seems to be doing beautifully for now. And obviously she'll be given like 5-star care and the nicest food, and she'll be looked after.
Exactly.
We love her so much. So let's hope she's all right.
Yep.
Right.
So our next thing.
What
time of year is it?
It is that time of year when 2 years ago, I believe, we had a whole spate of rats becoming ill. And there was a lot of things on the Facebook group. A lot of people got in touch saying, my rat's not well, it's not right. Some of these people will know the rats. They've all made a recovery. They've done really, really well. But it was something that we suspect was torpor. Do you want to talk about that?
I can. So, torpor, pouch rats by nature are not animals which hibernate. Obviously, there is animals that can hibernate, and they are built to do that. They've got the metabolism, they've got the ability to properly hibernate. There are a lot of animals that almost have half of that in them. I mean, we obviously have a similar thing. If we're experiencing very, very cold temperatures, our metabolism can slow down in the same way. But a lot of rodents, especially, it seems to affect. When they experience extended periods of low temperatures, or where there's a lack of food or a lack of water, they go into a state of hibernation, which is not true hibernation, called torpor.
It's common in hamsters.
You see it more in hamsters, but
which they share some characteristics with.
It occurs in a lot of animals that live in the same sort of environment.
Yeah.
And as we spoke about before, pouchies in the wild would only really experience temperatures of, the lowest, about 15 degrees C. That's about the lowest.
Very, very bottom. They're sub-Saharan.
So for that reason, anything below 15, they're not really cut out for. So when the temperature starts to drop below 15 degrees, that's when the metabolism will begin to slow down. They'll start to breathe slightly less. They tend to not necessarily get up for food or for water, and it can lead to all sorts of problems, and ultimately it can lead to death. So it's something that we as pouch rat owners need to be aware of. That, I mean, especially in the country we live in is very cold, how we can prevent it. So what are the signs of torpor? Well, what I've actually got here is what is the signs of torpor versus death, because it's kind of a running joke, isn't it, with Syrian hamsters?
People have buried hamsters before thinking,
and then it's alive, and now actually it went into torpor.
From what I can gather and what I've read and watched, torpor is not like death. It doesn't. They don't appear to be dead. They are breathing, but everything is just very, very slowed down, and the animal feels cold.
Well, I was reading what some of the hamster societies actually say to check for, because they say for the same reason that you can find it hard to tell the two apart. Test, is there any reaction to stimulation? Are their whiskers moving when you touch them? Can you observe any breaths over the space of a 2-minute period? Can you still bend their legs? Do their legs bend? Obviously, what that's implying is that if they have passed away, rigor mortis is going to stop you from moving their limbs.
It will, after a fashion. It'll be after about 4 hours. So that's
I have an asterisk on that, because it's hard to tell for definite. And again, it says the same thing: are their eyes open or closed? You can't always tell, but generally, torpor, their eyes will be closed.
Oh no, yeah. Because I've read both. They can sleep with their eyes open as well.
So it's still the signs to look for.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Difficult call.
Have they slowed down? Are they sleeping? Do they feel cold to the touch? Do they feel this? Because they should have temperature ever so slightly more elevated than us. So touching their body parts, i.e. bare skin, they should feel ever so slightly warmer, if not around the same as us. If they feel cold, then you've got a problem. And although the best cure is prevention when it comes to torpor, there's things you can do to give you a better chance. So that sort of starts with hot water bottles. Start to warm them up slowly, not too fast. Warm them up against your skin. Heating pads, that sort of things are great for that.
You do have to watch with heating pads that they don't get too hot. I think we fell foul of that with Celly, didn't we?
We did, because she wasn't old enough to move off
No,
the heat
no,
pad.
and an animal in torpor wouldn't be able to move off it either.
You would need really to hold them on a water bottle yourself for maybe an hour or so and see whether they start to come round from it.
There's no substitute for skin to skin contact.
Yeah.
That counts for a lot. And interestingly, the ones that did get ill a couple of years ago were solitary animals.
I think they will share their body
Ones
heat.
that live in pairs do not seem to suffer from this.
No.
Which is a good consideration, really, if you want them as pets to have companions.
Yep. And I know this seems to be something that affects more so if you've got a pouchy that's, maybe a little bit under the weather, is hiding something. You tend to find it more. It has and can kill perfectly healthy animals. So it's something we definitely need to be aware of.
Yeah.
I think the killer really for us is drafts. I think we wouldn't want to live in a house that is cold enough. I mean, if our houses were below 15 degrees, we would start to be like, oh, it's a bit chilly.
That's the common denominator when there was this whole spate of ones that got ill. The temperature in the house wasn't necessarily freezing because we'll have owners that live in houses without central heating. Yeah. And the animals are fine. It's the draft.
Because you might have them lower down in the cage. You're not necessarily feeling that because you're not down on that level, but vulnerable. It's blowing through the door. So, always worth checking. Is there drafts around? Maybe sit along the floor by their cage and just feel, is there a draft coming through? Is it passing through their cage?
Yeah, we've got a little tiny, sort of that big electric radiator, and because one of our cages is directly in line with where the front door is, we'll put a heater between the front door and them, just to try and counteract that draft. And it does seem to work. Yeah,
it does seem to work. I've really got to set this text on the screen so that it disappears, because it just ends up covering your face.
Oh, good. No, that's not a problem at all. That's but
it means that people can't see the text because your face is in the way.
I could just go. Right.
Oh, okay. You're going to spend the whole stream like that? Yeah.
No, definitely not. What I am going to do is say hello to Miss Z Tech, to Linda McPherson, Annette Reynolds, John Matthews.
We've got Bob back.
Bob again. Yeah. Oh,
we can go through
messages there.
We can go for the comments at the end.
Yeah. Annette's just commented actually. If I could just read this out because it's current. Yana went into torpor. She allowed us to handle her for the first time. She was a very poorly rat. She had a lot of mental issues, didn't she?
Yeah.
Annette was brilliant with her. She allowed us to handle her for the first time. She was icy cold, breathing very slow, and we couldn't seem to wake her. We microwaved towels until they were warm. Excellent. Wrapped them around her and put her inside a top.
Perfect advice.
Yeah, and another thing that a lady called Kyla mentioned, this was on the Facebook group, is to wrap the tail. And that is such a good idea because they regulate their body temperatures like fancy rats do through their tails. So if you were to wrap that in cling film or foil, it would insulate it, keep the heat in.
Yeah, things like bubble wrap would be good to wrap them in as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, a lot of people we see question plastic bags. It seems to be like kind of a running thing, doesn't it, with pouch owners? They like plastic bags.
They love plastic bags. It's like a common thing. They all seem to want them. We do cut them up. We don't leave them with a whole plastic bag.
No, I think cutting them so that they're a through piece, cutting the handles across, and then
there's nothing for them to actually use as a ligature or suffocate with, just to make that clear. We do tear them up or cut. It's one of my hobbies, isn't it? Any waste paper or the big food sacks that the food comes in, I sit there with scissors and chop it all up lovingly and put it all in a carrier bag, which Arthur then runs off with and has the lot.
The whole carrier bag.
But we do it sensibly. Yeah.
So we ran a competition on the group for Christmas, which was pretty good. Went pretty well.
It did, and it was a lovely response.
We try and do this every week. We didn't do it last year. We did it the year before. We try and do it this one because it can get quite expensive when we do it, but it's worth it because it's good at showing, just giving back to the group, I guess, a little bit. But we had we had 3 winners this year. So I think the first year we did just 1. This year we did 3. So reiterate the congratulations to Alan Deans, who won the top prize. Arthur chose a 30.
It didn't really go on whether you've got a pouchy, whether you want one. It was open to everybody, and the selection was done at random. Arthur actually chose the bits of paper, didn't he?
It was
and there's a video on the Facebook group if you want to watch him fairly and squarely picking out the winners.
Yeah, that's called pouchy random. It's like almost random.
Yeah.
Pouchy random. Because we randomised the letters first and then let him choose.
Yeah, and then he sort of grabbed a mouthful, which one had
the first time he picked just 1 and then he picked 3.
Yeah, and the one that he picked was Alan Deans, who won a £30 Amazon voucher. In second place was Lee Garnham, who won £10, was it? And in third place, Jackie Porter, who won £5. So please let us know what you got with the vouchers. Unless it's a really personal, disgusting thing. In that case, you can just keep it to yourself.
Don't tell us that. Lee has already told us that he bought something for his dog, which is good.
Or his future dog?
His future dog. Yeah, sorry, future dog.
Fair enough.
Which is good, yeah. Keep it in the animal realm.
It's sweet, isn't it? It's really nice. Yeah. I'm just going to read out a few of the...
Oh, yeah, so our requirement was that, what was it like on the 5th day of...
It was based on a partridge in a pear tree, so everybody's familiar with that. On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me, but we said pouchy sent to me. What we've got here is from Sarah Green. On the first day of Christmas, my pouched rat gave to me 1 TV remote that was missing. We've got on the 3rd day of Christmas from Chloe Brown. My pouched rat gave to me a vigorous hand humping session. Ooh. From Lucy Dobinson, I thought this was a really, really clever one. Unfortunately, Lucy, you didn't get picked, but this was good. On the 12th day of Christmas, my pouched rat gave to me an Amazon gift card because I won the competition.
I like that.
I do. That was good. Fiona Barnes, again, really good rat friend of ours, said on the 8th day of Christmas, my pouchy gave to me a tin of paint to touch up the walls he'd licked bare. The struggle is real.
It is, because I painted the walls just the other day where they've been licking. I have to maybe once every 2 months get the paint out and repaint the walls where they've licked them because they look horrible.
And it just all seeps through again because it's all oil and grease off their coats.
Oh, I have to scrub the wall and I put some PVA over it and then paint it, and it still comes through eventually. But
and there's some other good ones here. I'll just read out a couple more. The winner, Alan Dean, said, on the 3rd day of Christmas, my pouchy gave to me the remains of her ladder that she chewed.
Bobo.
This is quite a nice one, and this one sort of rhymes and it sort of goes with the tune, doesn't it? On the 1st day of Christmas, my pouchy gave to me a visit to A&E. From Leanne Waldock, who I sincerely hope will one day be a pouchy owner because she would just be brilliant. I think that's it really. There was a few more, plus a random picture of Arthur drinking the froth off the top of my beer. I don't know quite how that got there. Anyway.
No, so yeah, thanks for all those that entered.
Yeah,
hope
the
winners enjoy their we just kind of something nice to do because we really appreciate the group and all the people, and all of us on the committee do. We were just saying the other day how much it is and how nice it is.
Everyone's so friendly and
helpful, and that's exactly it.
One of the members of the Facebook group, who shall remain nameless just for sake of embarrassment, was using the toilet this morning, and that person's pouched rat jumped up behind them and had a wee on the toilet at the same time. And it's the sort of group where you can say those things and everyone will find it funny.
That's what I was saying. Compared to some other groups, so you just find these arguments develop. It's great. It's good.
If you like toilet humour and rudeness, then that is the group for you.
Yeah.
This is probably a good one to do now, honey.
Did you want to just say that about the babies?
I was going to save that till last.
Okay. Yeah. So more of a boring update, but always worth talking anyway. So I'm
going to see if there's a guest of the week available.
Okay. By all means, make sure you take your...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to walk off with your mic still attached.
There you go.
And just remember to reattach it when you come back or you'll be really quiet.
That'd be good.
So, as most people know, we have like a committee, a society committee, and basically it's a group of senior owners, senior members who come together and serve, tends to be for a year or sometimes longer, and we just kind of together we discuss, we talk about what we want to get behind, what we want to support. When we're needed for help, we're kind of all there to talk and to work together. We tend to deal with rehoming issues. We help choose new owners for breeders. Any issues that comes up, we're kind of there as a sounding board for each other to make these decisions. And anyone can go and serve on the committee. They just put their name forward to say, I'd like to be on the committee next year. And providing no one else kind of objects member-wise, or there's no real issues, then yeah, more the merrier. It's always good to have both owners and non-owners. Most of the all of the committee members who stood in 2019 have stayed on to 2020 with the addition of one extra. So we'd like to welcome Chloe Brown, who has... Would you like that? Yeah, okay, fine.
Fanciful.
We'd like to welcome Chloe Brown, who's joined as an additional committee member this year. So she's joined mainly to bring on some extra vetting process for us. So with new owners that come forward to help us do the research on them, to decide whether they're suitable for owning a pouchy. She's very, very passionate about finding the right homes. She has bred a litter before and hand-reared, so I think she's very well qualified for that.
She's also doing a degree in animal science.
So, yeah.
So, she's going to be fantastic. I've got a guest of the week here, if anyone's interested. Alice and Gus had a second litter on the 16th of November, one of whom is chewing my buttons at the moment, little treasure. And yeah, this little guy's called Binky. I'm going to let you hold him because otherwise people won't see because of the writing, yeah? Yeah. This is Binky, and he is going to Monique and Martin in Cambridge.
Binky bum, eh?
He's 5... Oh, he's just weed on me. He's 5 weeks old tomorrow. He's one of 3 boys. There's no girls in this litter, and he is an absolute little star. He's going to end up falling if he's not careful.
You've got a lot of energy.
Yeah, he has got a lot of energy.
I mean, we've been doing some live streams, just some little short live streams on the Facebook page as we've been getting these out of an evening. And yesterday was the first day they had the first proper free roam. So that'll probably be what we'll end up doing after this. Is
it's probably why he's all
free
like,
roaming them.
I'm up here again. Brilliant.
It's about this age that they really seem to enjoy. Well. God, you have some serious energy. You do.
Yeah, hold him over the table just in case.
Do you just want to have a nose on the table? Is that it? It's like, yeah, I'll do a wee on the table first, though. Don't. If you walk on the keyboard and you stop our stream, then that'll be madness, isn't it?
He's going to be off down the back, honey.
I
don't trust him.
I think that's probably us unpouched.
Yeah, it's probably a good time just to
stick him up at the camera.
Let everyone see what a lovely boy he is. There you go.
Well, and we apologise for there being 3 weeks rather than 2. There was kind of a bit of method in the madness that now we won't clash with Christmas. And we can do this one just before Christmas, the next one will be just after Christmas.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we were literally like just after Christmas, I think, which was a bit too much. So, yeah, hope everyone watching has a lovely Christmas. Hope everyone in the group has a lovely Christmas.
Happy Christmas, everyone, and thank you again for everybody's support over the past year. It's been brilliant.
2019's been great.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic. We've got some really, really great people, all very, very supportive. I look forward to 2020. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Me too.
Have a great Christmas. Did you want to just skip for the comments? Is there anything on there?
Nothing.
Let's just pull these over here so we can read them.
Right, okay.
We've got, reminds me, Bob saying we're going to talk about Coffee Rat, reminds me of Pizza Rat from a while back. Yeah, you kind of beat me to the punch there, Bob, because you posted that before we even went live. I was like, no, that was my opening.
I've done most of them, so...
It's Nettie saying...
People are just saying hello. Just scroll down.
My ex is calling on...
Floki likes the bags for life. Does he like Tesco, Asda? Has he got like...
I don't know if they're for preference.
Is he a posh one? Does he like the Waitrose ones?
My ex is calling on what would have been our 44th anniversary.
Alan is just...
Popo.
You're
still obviously good friends then, Bob.
Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Alan will be buying Bobo some toys to wreck. Maybe
not the next one.
Is that possibly a French breed of rabbit, I think?
A rampant.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah,
of,
that must be it.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Carry on.
He has no preference. No, I assumed he probably wouldn't. I think that's it. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We will end on the we'll end there, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in a fortnight.
Yeah, and well, in 2020.
It will be now, yeah.
We'll see you next year.
Have a good new year as well. Bye for now, you
Bye
wonderful,
for now.
wonderful people.
Bye.